You've seen them. The person who walks into a room, doesn't say a word, doesn't make a scene, yet the entire energy of the space shifts toward them. Conversations dip. People subconsciously adjust their posture. Without a single ego-driven shout, they've commanded the most valuable currency on earth: respect. For a long time, I thought those people were just born different. I thought they had some secret DNA or a level of wealth that acted like a cloaking device for insecurity. I was the opposite. I was the guy people talked over. The guy who would tell a joke, and no one would laugh, but someone else would repeat it 30 seconds later and get a standing ovation. I was invisible, and if you're watching this, maybe you feel that ghost status, too, but I discovered something that changed my life. Respect isn't a gift, it's a psychological reflex. I spent 3 years obsessing over human behavior, testing everything from body language to speech patterns. I found 5 specific shifts, ranging from the physical to the deeply psychological, that force the world to see you differently. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on these 5 principles. We're going from the most basic physical habit to the silent weapon that even the most powerful leaders use to control a room. Most people are physically apologizing for existing. They hunch their shoulders, they tuck their chin, they occupy as little physical data as possible. They are literally trying to disappear, and the human brain is wired to ignore things that try to be invisible. If you want to be respected, you have to stop shrinking, the internal anchor. Don't think of it as standing straight. That makes you look like a wooden board. Think of it as occupying your territory. Imagine there is a string pulling the crown of your head toward the sky, but your shoulders are heavy and relaxed. When you take up space, you are sending a biological signal to every lizard brain in the room. I am not a threat, but I am also not a victim. Try this. The next time you walk through a doorway, imagine you are the owner of the building. You aren't rushing. You aren't dodging people. You are simply moving through space that belongs to you. When your body stops apologizing, people stop overlooking you. The biggest giveaway of an insecure mind is speed. Think about it. When someone is nervous, they talk fast, they fidget, they check their watch, they dart their eyes. Why? Because they subconsciously feel that if they don't finish their thought in 3 seconds, they'll lose your attention. They don't believe their words are worth the time they take to say them. High-status individuals own their time. The 10% rule: I want you to try moving, speaking, and reacting 10% slower than you do right now. When someone calls your name, don't snap your head around, turn slowly. When you're explaining an idea, allow for the beat. When you walk, let your heels hit the ground fully. Slowness is a proxy for power. It says, I am comfortable with the silence between my words. When you slow down, the world is forced to sync up with your rhythm, rather than you chasing theirs. You aren't rushing to the meeting. The meeting starts when you arrive. Eye contact is the most intimate form of psychological combat. Most people fail here because they either look away too soon showing submissiveness, or they stare too hard looking like a predator or a weirdo. If you can't hold eye contact, you can't hold respect, period. The comfortable gaze. Here is the secret I use to overcome my social anxiety, the 3-2-1 technique. Hold someone's gaze for 3 seconds, long enough to register the color of their eyes, then look away naturally to the side, never down, for 1 second, then return. This creates a push and pull dynamic. By looking at them, you show you aren't afraid. By looking away, you show you aren't desperate for their approval. It's a dance of confidence. I remember the first time I did this with a high-level executive. I didn't change my resume. I didn't change my suit. I just held his gaze until he was the one to blink first. The entire dynamic of the interview shifted in that heartbeat. We live in a world where everyone is waiting for their turn to speak. Most conversations are just the people taking turns talking at each other. If you want to be the most influential person in the room, stop talking. Respect isn't gained by what you pour into people. It's gained by the space you provide for them. When you truly, deeply listen, not just waiting for a gap, but absorbing their intent, you create a psychological dead, active stillness. When someone talks to you, give them your full frontage. Square your shoulders to them. Don't look at your phone. Don't look at the door. Ask one follow-up question that starts with how did it feel when double quotes, or what made you decide to double quotes. When you make someone feel seen, they subconsciously associate you with importance. They will walk away from the conversation thinking you are a brilliant conversationalist, even if you only said 10 words. Why? Because you gave them the one thing no one else would: your undivided presence. This is the principle that separates the leaders from the noise. In moments of chaos, drama, or heated debate, the natural human instinct is to add to the noise. We want to defend ourselves. We want to be right. We want to be heard. But the person with the most respect is always the one who remains unreactive. The power of the pause silence is uncomfortable for most people. They feel the need to fill it with or useless chatter. A respected person uses that discomfort to their advantage. If someone asks you a difficult question, don't answer immediately. Wait 3 full seconds, look at them, then speak. If a room is arguing, stay silent, watch the patterns. Wait until the energy dies down and everyone is exhausted from shouting. That is when you speak. Because you haven't been part of the noise, your voice will hit like a thunderclap in a quiet forest. Silence suggests that you have a secret. It suggests you are thinking on a level the others haven't reached yet. It is the ultimate display of self-control. I've given you 5 tactics, but I have to be honest with you. If you use these as tricks to manipulate people, they will eventually fail. You can stand tall, you can look people in the eye, and you can stay silent, but if you don't actually respect yourself, the world will eventually smell the act. The reason these 5 habits work isn't because of how they change others, it's because of how they change you. When you stand tall, you're telling your own nervous system that you are safe. When you move slowly, you're telling your brain that your time is valuable. When you use silence, you're acknowledging that your words are too precious to be wasted on those who won't listen. Respect is an inside-out job. I didn't stop being invisible because I mastered hacks. I stopped being invisible because I decided I was worth being seen. From this moment on, you are no longer the person who gets walked past. You are the observer. You are the calm in the storm. You don't need a louder voice. You don't need a bigger ego. You just need to realize that you are the architect of your own presence. Here is your mission for the next 24 hours. Pick one of these principles. Just one. Maybe it's the 3-to-1 eye contact at the grocery store. Maybe it's walking 10% slower into your office. Commit to it for one day and watch how the world reacts to the new version of you. This improves your mindset. We don't just change how you think. We change how the world thinks of you. If this resonated with you, hit the subscribe button and join our community of those who choose to lead, not just follow. Comment below with the word unstoppable if you're committing to practicing one of these today. I want to see who's actually ready to do the work.